I paid a grand total of £30, aka $40 for a faulty Xbox One that doesn't turn on. The listing on eBay states that it has a few marks and scratches, but other than that, no major damage. And we'll be the judge of that when we get into the console. Wish me luck, let's go take a look. This Xbox is continuously putting the power brick into safety mode or protection mode. I've got a feeling that when we put the power into the Xbox, something is shorting it and telling the power brick not to supply the Xbox with power. I'll give you an example of that right now. I'm just about to plug the power in now. And you can see instantly it goes from orange to white and then completely shuts off. I've never seen it before personally. I've not had an issue like this. Let's take this one apart and see what's going on the main board. See if we can spot anything obvious. I don't think this one's actually ever been opened. I know straight away this is going to be so ridiculously dusty because it's never been opened before. Oh Lord. I've just taken this apart and it was probably up there with the dustiest Xbox I've ever seen. However, if I leave this here for a second, can you tell me where you think the issue might be? If you guessed this bomb site down here, you'd be correct. Coming in from the power, there is quite a lot of dust and like a dust line that goes to the south bridge. That's slightly worrying, but we also have like marks around here as well. And obviously loads of dust marks around here. However, look at this. I think I know why the power brick is going into protection mode. Can you believe the look of that? That is absolutely incredible. Let's get under the scope and inspect the damage to see exactly what's going on. I can't wait. Would you just look at the damage we've got here? Oh my gosh. I'm just gonna have a little bit of a poke and see what. Oh no, that is like bare board, man. That is so bad. I'm just having a little bit of a soft scrape around to see. But that is like bare copper around here. That is absolutely nuts. I've never seen a board like this before. What's weird as well is that's like the second one along. Like what's happened here as well? What is this? That cap's gone as well. That's probably maybe as a result of what happened above. Like that is disgusting. So that cap would need to be replaced. I don't know what the situation. I don't know what goes where, man. Like where is where? This is what we're looking at. So it's only two caps and we obviously have the MOSFET. So it's exactly the same here. We got the two caps and we got the MOSFET. This cap actually looks okay. Is that, what's that there? Is that a resistor? Yeah, there's a small resistor. You see that R9D7? We have the same here. I'm going to quickly use some IPA to clean up what we have. Then I'm going to blast this with hot air and see if I can get this cap off and this cap off without completely ruining the whole board. That's going to come off when okay, so that's already off. I mean, that was going to come off when I used IPA. Let me just grab some IPA real quick. Just going to squirt it on it. Wow. Look at this, man. If I could get this fixed, it would be amazing. Let's just dry it off quickly. To dry it off, by the way, I literally just used 99% air and 100 degrees Celsius. I'm going to blast it with 450 degrees and probably around about 70% airflow just to get this capacitor off and maybe give this a little bit of a clean. Whilst we're here, I'm just going to take this cap off as well. There we go, nice. This capacitor looks like it's been deprived of solder, to be honest, because look how much it's wiggling. I'm probably going to put some solder on that right now with the soldering iron, because again, that looks like it's holding on for dear life. I think that looks a bit more suffice. Or not. There goes the cap. Let's get that stuck down properly, shall we? Now that's just one problem, of course, because we have a field of problems here. Whilst we're in this area, I've put my meter into diode mode and the red probe is going to go onto ground and the black one we're going to use to measure certain components. If I measure this MOSFET here on the gate, which is where the single trace you can see here, it's just one trace going to the component. If I measure around here, we should get around 0.6. We get 0.644 on this one. If I measure on the gate of this one, which is a smaller MOSFET, which is here, the measurement I get is 0.01. So I need to remove this MOSFET from the board. Most likely because in the scenario that all of this went kaput, it blew this MOSFET. So let's do that quick. We're going to go 470 degrees Celsius with a fan speed of 99%. Now if I measure in the same place, bearing in mind that the board might be a little bit hot, we should see around 0.6, 0.5. We have 0.553, but that could be, like I said, because the board's so hot. I'm going to grab a donor MOSFET and we're going to put it right on this area, but we're going to tin the pads first just to make sure that it's got a solid connection. Here we have our donor board. As you can see, I've already taken one MOSFET, so I'm going to have to go down to the next phase. There we go. Just going to double check that this MOSFET is okay. It's reading 0.7, which is fine. That's okay. So we're going to take that off. Whilst I'm here, I'm also going to take these two capacitors as well. I'm also going to check, did this resistor here, was that here or is that gone as well? No, it looks like that resistor made it and it's still there. Okay, fine. Flux up around here because we're going to add some new solder to it. These pads actually connecting to the copper is fine because it's all on the same pad, as you can see. That's going to be way too much, that blob. I didn't mean to put that blob on. Let me take a bit of it off just by cleaning the iron. The dot on the chip is going to line up with the dot that's on the board. So we're just going to make sure. I'm going to melt the solder in a second. I'm probably not going to have this chip here, to be honest, because it's just going to fly away. So I'm just going to hold on to it and melt the board. Wait for the solder to wet, which it has now. Just going to place this down. Try and put it in place. That's not in place, so we're just going to add a little bit of flux. There we go. Take the heat off, push down on the chip, heat back on. Shall we squeeze the love out of it? Wait for the solder to solidify. Come on. There we go. Bish bash bosh. Quick clean with some IPA. You might see here that we have a lot of bridged pads. That's fine because they're all on the same tray, so that's okay. Now I'm just going to put some flux on here and just see if we can tin up these pads. That's fine. Do you know what? That won't be too bad, I don't think. I'm going to try and put a bigger blob. I can work with that. I can work with that. Now, this is the bit where I'll be a little bit confused. So if I grab capacitor number 1, sorry, my friend, you're coming with me. And if we just give him a little bit of heat, push him down, just like that. Keep going a little bit. There we go. That's better. So that's okay. That's got enough solder on there to hold that cap in place, I'm pretty sure. Let me just wiggle it. Yeah, that's definitely on the board. If I take the other cap as well, we just put this on the board, push down. There we go. Actually, let's clean the flux off that we've got there at the moment, just so we can make it a little bit of a tidier job and see what we're doing. Make sure we don't actually lose any components though, that would be good. Bit of flux. There we go, that's better. Oh, a bit too much there, where this one. That's good. Okay, fine. It might be a little bit too much on the iron, but that's fine. I'm going to use the fluxes on the board and just try and get that to a bit of a healthier size. There we go. This one jumped out of place. There we go. That's definitely on. They're both on. That's fine. I'm okay with that. So this is how we're looking so far. Now, the issue being is that, so my meter is now in continuity mode, which is when the probes beep when there is a complete circuit. I should have ground here, which I do. That's really good. I have ground here, which is on this pad. That's fine. However, I shouldn't have ground here on this big pad. I shouldn't have ground, nor on this either, because it's all part of the same connection. This is where we're working. If I go up onto the pad up and test to see if this is ground or not, it is. So again, this can't be, or it shouldn't be ground at least. So there is still something that is short in the board to ground, because otherwise that wouldn't be beeping. So I need this to not beep. And it could be a number of things on this board. I'm going to put the multimeter back into diode mode and we're just going to check the other MOSFETs that we have. So we have this one here, 0.6, that's good. 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 Oh, is it because I don't have a cap? Is it because I removed the cap here? Let's check. 0.6. 0.6. Because this cap's not here, I wonder if it's breaking the circuit. So let me replace this capacitor. Just going to give these a nudge and make sure they're not moving. That one's definitely not. That one's definitely not, which means I can clean it with some IPA. Now back into continuity mode to see what the situation is. We still get a beep on this side. Do we get a beep on this side? Yes, we do. Okay, we have a beep on both sides still. So something is still shorting out the 12 volts on this console. Next, we're going to remove this little guy because he's, oh, I mean, you can also remove yourself, I guess. I don't know if that would somehow be causing the short to ground, but let's tin up the pads and replace it. Take one from this board first, as usual. Clean up with a cotton bud. Make sure we get everything. There we go. Wicked. Question is this still grounded or not? This whole big pad here. Ready? 3, 2, 1. Yes, it is. Just looking for anything else as to why it could still be grounded, but can't really see anything, to be honest. Wait a minute. This is missing a resistor, but it looks like it's kind of never had a resistor because these aren't tinned at all. What? Just checked another board and every single one has one. Look, you see these little resistors here. If I show you, I've just taken this one off, but we've got one here, here, here. Yeah, in every place on the board. That's so weird. So I'll take this one off from the donut that we have and transport onto the other place as well. Put the heat back onto it and let it flow into place. Perfect. There we go. Do we still get a short? We still do get a short to ground on this pad. I don't know if it's because of these caps here though. I don't know if it's because these aren't connected. Could be wrong though. Now I don't know if this is really, really stupid of me to think this. Another possibility could be that these caps aren't touching this, which is what's causing the short. Again, could be horrifically wrong, so apologies if I am. But what I'm thinking is just to get a little bit of solder and touch this capacitor to this and this capacitor to this as well. Remember, this is all about learning together, no matter if it's smart or dumb, but I definitely feel like this is dumb. How dumb was it? Continuity mode, let's check. Very dumb. I don't think it massively matters how these caps are joined to this part of the board. It could be wrong, so if somebody would like to correct me in the comments, that would be great. Part of me is like, there's nothing wrong with this, other than the fact there's obviously a lot of solder here and a lot of solder here. One thing I wanted to show you real quick as well, where the power comes in, which is here. Pin number 6, which is this little fella, is where the 12 volt line is, right? So if meter's in continuity mode, if I tap it, we have a short to ground on the 12 volt line still. Let's have a look at some other areas of the board. For the last 10 minutes, I've been injecting voltage here. At the moment, I'm injecting 1 volt and it's drawing 5 amps. However, nothing around the board is getting hot. So with this method, you should start to feel something getting hot. I've been doing this for a while now. I started with 1 volt and it was drawing 1 amp. So I upped the amperage a little bit more, a little bit more, a little bit more. When I inject onto the board, it goes down to 0.68 volts, but the amp drawage is 5. It's 5 amps being drawn somewhere. I have no idea where this 5 amps is going. So I can't actually find where this short is. My gut feeling says it's around here somewhere and it's like a small component, but I've dotted around IPA. You can see how this is all wet. It's because I'm putting IPA on the board to see if anything specifically is taking up that 5 amp, and I can't find anything. So again, it was drawing 5 amps and you can see that every single area still has the isopropyl alcohol on. And obviously it doesn't have to be in this area, but I definitely would have thought it would have been because of everything that we found at the start. Unfortunately, I have no idea what to do now. If I can't find the short, I've got no idea. I don't have a thermal cam either, so that would make my life a little bit easier, but yeah, I'm really struggling to find this short. Just a very quick recap. So we had this troubled area around here. I fixed it to the best of my ability, but we still had a short to ground on the main pad. I checked every single MOSFET all over the board and every one was fine after I changed this little one over here. I also checked visually around the board to see if there was any more blown chips, and there wasn't. I then injected voltage at the suspected area down here and was poking around to see if there was anything that was getting overly hot, and there wasn't. If anyone has any other ideas as to what you think might be wrong with this board, leave it in the comment section down below and I'll be sure to try and revisit this board when I have time. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great week/weekend and I will see you in the next one. Peace.